Well, and welcome back to an episode of Ministry of Truth. I am your only host on this show, and I've got actually quite a bit of shit I went over, well, this morning and a little bit of last night, which, we should go over. Well, I'm going to go over. Not that we should go over. But before, we lost another one. I wouldn't say Hulk Hogan was exactly one of the greatest people out there, but he was there when most of us grew up. Didn't like him. Still don't like him. But that's besides the point. But he did die. And well, this is for you, Hogan.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
All right. Welcome back. Hello, Yeti. Hopefully you grabbed, it is now 2:34. You're in Arkansas, so it is 2:34 where you are. Hope you're doing fine on this Thursday afternoon. And to the other person that's watching, you as well. Well, the first thing we're going to get into today, we got
a statement from...
yeah. Let's listen to bore about what's going on Israel and, Palestine. They have this great fucking peace treaty we got coming up, right? Wait, they signed a peace treaty, right?
Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, quote,
"What up,
"We have decided to bring our team home from Doha for consultations after the latest response from Hamas, which clearly shows a lack of desire to reach a ceasefire in Gaza. While the mediators have made a great effort, Hamas does not appear to be coordinated or acting in good faith. We will now consider alternative options to bring the hostages home and try to create a more stable environment for the people."
Wait. What does he mean by bring the hostages home? Like American hostages? Because last time I checked, that... Oh, I don't know, man. It's probably the fucking camera in the room they're in. But last time I checked, all of our Americans are home. Unless he meant living Americans are all the one that's home. Do we still have dead Americans over there? If not, why don't we have them?
Of Gaza. It is a shame that Hamas has acted in this selfish way. We are resolute in seeking an end to this conflict and a permanent peace in Gaza.
The Special Envoy's statement, does that suggest that the U.S. is pulling out of any sort of negotiating role in the Gaza ceasefire
talks? What are these alternatives?
Well, look, ultimately the statement speaks for itself, but the question has never been our commitment to a ceasefire. The question has been Hamas's commitment to a ceasefire.
Don't forget
and that has been
Israel.
made clear by the Special Envoy's statement. The fact that we have entered in good faith
Two-sided
in trying
fucking
to reach an end
treaty.
to this conflict. And as the Special Envoy said, we remain dedicated to trying to see an end to this conflict.
But will you work with
In the parties, Qatar, Egypt, for example, in the Doha format, will you return to that? Or are you pulling out entirely from this format?
Well, look, again, I refer you back to this statement. This is a very dynamic situation. And ultimately, again, to reinforce, the question here has never been our commitment to try to get a ceasefire. We've seen that engagement. The question here has always been Hamas's commitment to a ceasefire or willingness to get there.
And can you give us any examples of the alternative options that Witkoff references in his statement?
At this point, I have nothing to preview. Yes.
Thank you. Just following up on that, what about the response from Hamas specifically made the administration feel that they were not acting in good faith?
Well, look, these are sensitive diplomatic conversations. We'll see in the days ahead as we proceed here. Ultimately, the Special Envoy's statement speaks for itself, but I think the broader context here is also important. The fact that we have seen Hamas first break that ceasefire that existed on October 7th, then break another ceasefire, and then here, as the...
What about when Israel bombed that Christian church? Catholic church, whatever the fuck it was. That was last week. What about that? It's not just those fucking retards in Palestine that's blowing shit up and killing people. It's you faggots in Israel.
Special Envoy makes clear, not acting in a way in order to achieve a ceasefire again. So to reiterate, the question has never been our commitment to a ceasefire. It has been Hamas's. They have shown that again and again and again, and have just shown it once again.
And this decision comes as dozens of people...
Dude, they fucking cuck hard for Israel. Fucking gross.
The WHO said yesterday that 21 children under the age of 5 were among those who died of malnutrition so far this year, and more than 100 organizations have called for the lifting of all restrictions on the flow of aid and all land crossings to be opened and the restoration of a UN-led humanitarian response. Given this decision today, is the U.S. considering any other steps to increase the flow of aid to Gaza? Are you talking with Israel about them taking any other steps? How do you move forward on the aid?
Well, look, ultimately what we have seen us do is the delivery of close to 90 million meals into Gaza during a war zone.
How many got there?
The ability to deliver that aid in a way where it is not being looted.
Out of 90 million, or whatever the fuck he said, meals to Gaza, how many of those were intercepted by the IDF and not let through the border? No, that's not Carson.
By Hamas. That is what we have seen. We are, of course,
Carlson.
aware. And of course, we want to see end the devastation that has taken place in Gaza. That's why we have seen this commitment to get aid to the people who need it in a way where it is not weaponized.
Why do they close
by Hamas.
the...
That commitment remains. It is a commitment from President Trump and
Yeah,
Secretary Rubio.
GCP's
That is
into
why we have
Gaza.
supported the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. That is why we continue supporting the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. That is why we've seen those 90 million meals being distributed. And that commitment,
Oh,
again,
fuck, my bad,
to
bro.
making
My
sure
bad,
that
you're
aid
right.
is reaching the people of Gaza that need it. And the first victims of Hamas being the people of Gaza, as is demonstrated once again here.
Is the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation a sufficient mechanism for delivering aid to Gaza? I mean, people are still starving to death. Is that enough in the U.S. opinion?
Well, as spokesperson Tammy Bruce has said from this podium,
Honestly, asking about these fuckers that are not eating in Gaza, they're starving. I don't give a shit, frankly. We have people here. People here. Yeah, you're going to make me sound like a nationalist, but I don't give a fuck. Nationalism is not a bad thing. It's when you add, white nationalism or black nationalism or Jew nationalism that is a bad thing. We need to take care of our people here. Homeless children, homeless adults, homeless veterans, homeless.
before, it is never enough in a war zone. It is never enough. That is why we're committed to trying to get as much aid in as possible. That is why we worked for that ceasefire, because of what we are seeing. But aid needs to be delivered in a way where it is not being looted by Hamas. So of course, it is never enough in a war zone, but we're dedicated to getting as much aid into Gaza in a way where it reaches the people that need it as possible. And that's why we were working so hard for a ceasefire.
I don't know. I don't believe them. They're not working hard for a fucking ceasefire at all. Why? Because that would take away the money. It's all about money and power. We need to take away the power from Israel. But we're not giving it to the Palestinians. Fuck that. Just need to take away their power. Maybe we should hold them accountable for their war crimes. Not against just Palestinians, the Syrians, the Houthis, but the United States. USS Liberty, guys. USS Liberty.
Been a lot of issues with Trump appointees not delivering on promises, but former Democrat Tulsi Gabbard seems to be different, as President Trump recently alluded to arresting President Obama.
Yo, Gabbard seems to be the only one that is trying to get people arrested, and she seems like the only one. It's not the FBI. Fuck no. It's not the Department of Justice. Fuck no. So far, out of 6 months, she's the first one that comes out trying to get motherfuckers with evidence.
Who should the DOJ target as part of their investigation? What specific figures?
The leader of the gang was President Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of him? It's there. He's guilty. This was treason.
And today, Tulsi laid out the evidence, which of course CNN is censoring.
Yo, this is why I wanted to play this. So, hold on. While we were watching this live, apparently CNN was also playing it live, but here's what happened.
On December 5th.
We've been listening there to the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, continuing to attempt to back up the quite extreme allegation that President Obama is guilty of treason and that he worked.
But how is she? What's the word he fucking used?
As this.
On December 5th.
We've been listening there to the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, continuing to attempt to back up the quite extreme allegation that...
She's not attempting to back up. She's showing you the proof. But CNN doesn't want you to know that. Any time that President Trump would have a press conference, or now with Tulsi Gabbard, they tend to cut away. And it's not the first time CNN's ever done that, to include MSNBC and whoever those other fucking mainstream media outlets out there. I don't know if Fox News does, but they probably would if they could.
President Obama is guilty of treason and that he worked...
As this is what CNN doesn't want you to know.
The stunning revelations that we are releasing today should be of concern to every American. This is not about Democrats or Republicans. There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. In the January 2017 intelligence community assessment that President Obama ordered, John Brennan, who was CIA director at the time, and the intelligence community intentionally suppressed intelligence that showed Putin was saving the most damaging material that he had in his possession about Hillary Clinton until after her potential and likely victory. There were high-level DNC emails that detailed evidence of Hillary's, quote, psycho-emotional problems, uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression.
You know, it all makes sense now. Like,
and that then Secretary Clinton...
all these little things we thought she was just making fun of people and being quirky. Nah. That bitch has some serious medical conditions.
On a daily regimen of heavy tranquilizers. The intelligence community mischaracterized intelligence and relied on dubious substandard sources to create a contrived false narrative that Putin developed a quote-unquote clear preference for Trump.
With Tulsi actually referring this for prosecution.
Do you believe that any of this new information implicates former President Obama in criminal behavior?
We have referred and will continue to refer all of these documents to the Department of Justice and the FBI to investigate the criminal implications of this.
For even former President Obama?
Correct.
As Trump is actually reposting AI videos of Obama being arrested.
Yo, that shit's actually pretty funny.
Now CNN is desperate to control the narrative on this.
Anybody find it kind of weird? Hold on. That they've been caught trying to cover up for Biden's health. And they just got caught again. Fuck. Covering for Hillary's health. That would have been 2 presidents back to back that they're covering for their health. Why are they putting up puppets that are seriously mentally declining or serious depression? Why were they putting those guys up against Donald Trump? Is it because they were going to be puppet presidents? Shadow government? Big and loud? I mean, Obama is the main one, right?
This is hardly information that we should even be repeating. Never mind that it's, some years after the fact, 8 years more than that after the fact.
As their article on these accusations of treason.
8 years after the fact. When did Donald Trump do that, the fuck's it called? The mortgage fraud. What year did he do that? Was it more than 8 years ago? Then it doesn't matter, right? Shouldn't have charged him, shouldn't have convicted him? No?
Annotated, which unfortunately is the top results when searching on Google, immediately opens up with, "This evidence is wildly misleading," ending the article with a quote from Trump about how he won by a landslide with their reply, "It was far from a landslide," referencing their own article from 2024, where even they admit they won't know the final results for another month. Never mind the fact that they already knew Trump won every single swing state, with every single state swinging in favor of the Republicans, and the final count just corrected that Trump didn't win by 3.8 million votes. It was a measly 2.3 million votes. CNN just refuses to let the facts get in the way of their pre-existing narrative. It's like they write their headlines first, and try to circle back if they can. Otherwise, they just cite their last lies, hoping you won't actually look at them. As they recently cried, there's no evidence Obama committed treason.
But there's literally evidence. This is not the issue. You're trying to avoid the subject.
President Obama said that Russia did not manipulate any votes. We should note that because every liberal in America said that was the case.
All right, noted. You're doing everything you're possible not to talk about the fact that the President of the United States, the current President of the United States, just accused a former president of treason and suggested a prosecution of that former president.
Like, is that not allowed? We can't say prosecute a former president? Isn't that what Donald Trump, the Biden administration was doing? Literally word for word. Not for treason so much, but calling for his arrest. New administration, same old story.
No evidence. That is the problem.
And now that our director of national intelligence dropped some evidence, CNN doesn't even want to show their viewers what this evidence is, as again, those pesky facts are getting in the way of what they want you to think. Never mind the notion that they were all upset over going after former presidents criminally when they themselves ripped that seal off. As remember, when Trump debated Hillary in 2016, he suggested she be jailed.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Yeah, because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
But once he got in office, he dropped it.
And everybody said, lock her up, lock her up. And I used to go easy, just easy, easy. Then we won. And I said, wouldn't it be terrible? And you know, I lose. Some people are upset when I did this, but you have to look at it maybe differently now. I say, wouldn't it be terrible to put the wife of the president, former president of the United States, into a prison?
Trump supporters were initially angry, but there was a semblance of normalcy when he didn't go after her. And I honestly prefer that period, but Trump going after Obama is something they set up themselves. But shielding their viewers from reality is nothing new for CNN, as they've been covering for the Democrats forever.
Remember, it's illegal to possess these stolen documents. It's different for the media. So everything you learn about this, you're learning from us.
They think it's dangerous for their viewers to access evidence before they sanitize it with their own spin and possibly referencing articles that headline their last lies. As
took history and spun it to the way they wanted it for you to know. The McGraw-Hill Book Company.
NBC does the same.
Two separate judges affirmed Garcia was a member of MS-13, which is a gang that may be even worse.
We've been watching President Donald Trump there swearing in.
And has been for a while.
I need to say that former President Trump has just started making public remarks, just as he did on the evening of his first arraignment on criminal charges. That was April, when he was booked on 34 felony counts brought by the state of New York.
I don't know why they keep saying 34 felony counts. It's all the same thing. They're all the same count. They just made it into 34.
We knew heading into this that he was planning to make these remarks. We are prepared for his pre-fundraiser remarks tonight to again be essentially a Trump campaign speech. Because of that, we do not intend to carry these remarks live. As we have said before in these circumstances, there is a cost to us as a news organization to knowingly broadcast untrue things.
Oh. Did you hear what she said? But, how much of this mainstream media have been paying for broadcasting false or misinformation? Huh? Why the fuck are they always so puffy?
And other news organizations have generally stopped giving an unfiltered live platform to remarks by former President Trump. It is not out of spite. It is not a decision that we relish. It is a decision that we regularly revisit, but there is a cost to us as a news organization of knowingly broadcasting untrue things.
Right? Instead of the virus being able to hop from person to person to person, potentially mutating and becoming more virulent and drug resistant along the way. Now we know that the vaccines work well enough that the virus stops with every vaccinated person.
Oh, is that so? The virus stops at vaccinated people. Why is there a new variant? Why is there currently a new variant going around? Makes it feel like your throat's being cut. You know, like a sore throat. CNN.
As watching these corporate mainstream media outlets actually make you dumber and less informed than had you just watched Bluey instead. And side note, I just watched that show with my niece and it was incredibly captivating for both of us, so please explain to me why in the comment section. But all this is distracting from the fact that the Trump administration may actually go after President Obama, but after the whole Epstein files debacle, my confidence level is sitting at a 2 out of 5,000.
Yep.
So if you
want to think about it too, did he have DNI drop this specifically at this time because of the whole Epstein debacle, scandal, scam? Look, you can see Tommy in the background. You know, failed catch. Not his fault. But anyway. Who is this? Is this Valuetainment? No, I don't feel like playing that one. All right, we're going to go to Valuetainment for a minute.
To Trump's accusation
About the same project.
of treason, outrageous. Let me read this to you. And Thomas Ellsworth, I'm coming to you first, so please be prepared with all your notes.
Ready.
Obama's office spokesperson, Patrick Rodenbush, great first name, rejected the office of the Director of National Intelligence. Reports claim that senior Obama administration officials orchestrated the Russia collusion hoax, stating, out of respect for the office of the presidency, our office does not normally dignify the constant nonsense and misinformation flowing out of this White House with a response. And he called the allegations outrageous and ridiculous, a weak attempt of distraction. He said, nothing in the document issues last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion that Russia worked to influence the 2016 election but did not successfully manipulate any votes. The ODNI report released by Tulsi Gabbard on Friday found overwhelming evidence that after Trump won in 2016 election against Hillary Clinton, President Obama and his national security cabinet members manufactured and politicized intelligence to lay groundwork for a years-long coup against Trump. Tom, what's your thoughts on the story?
So there are three things hiding in plain sight here. The first that's hiding in plain sight was that Obama was nowhere in sight. He didn't come to a podium. He didn't do one of those impromptu interviews. The media that follows him around where he goes for his foundation or things he does didn't come up behind him. He didn't go on the podcast with his wife where he was talking about young men and things and needing gay friends a week ago to come back and says, I don't need any of this crap. No, nothing. Obama was silent. Why is Obama silent? Ask yourself, ladies and gentlemen.
He's above this.
Or maybe
he's
deep
right.
in it. Maybe he's not above it. He's deep in it. And so he sends a spokesperson, Patrick Rodenbush, which is what Obama doesn't do. He's never riding Bush, is got an issue here.
What was that about?
Now he goes, the office of the presidency and the office. So they're speaking in third person. Whenever you have people in Washington that are cornered, they speak in third person. I think this issue is not something that will be dignified by a statement. Now, I'm not even making a statement. See, I'm referring to the issue in third person. So Obama is his office, from the office of Obama. And then if it hits the fan, what do those politicians always do? Well, that statement from my office may have been premature. So now it's a statement by your office. It's not you. And then lastly, in plain sight, Vinny, look at these words.
Uh-oh.
Nothing in the document issued last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion. Hang on. Now they're going to state the widely accepted conclusion. Russia worked to influence the 2016 election, but did not successfully manipulate any votes. Wait a minute. That wasn't the conclusion. The conclusions the Dems say wasn't that Russia worked to influence it, but did not successfully vote. They said this is an illegitimate president in 2016. They worked to influence votes. So now they're restating it. So whenever you So whenever you don't want to answer the question, restate the question.
Yeah.
Were you home by 11 o'clock last night, Tom? Dad, you always tell me to be home by midnight. I don't know what the problem is here. Did I answer the question?
No, you didn't.
No, I restated it. I restated it as if I'm trying to, talk to my dad and be cool. And I said, son, that wasn't the question. Were you home by 11 p.m. last night?
My kids try
Dad,
to.
I don't know why this is a
That's not what I asked you.
question. That's how politicians work. So all in here, this is here. And you want to know why this is happening? Myself and many other people think this is happening, Pat, because the treason word was used, and that diagram presented by Tulsi Gabbard had what they don't like, backup and evidence.
By the way, here's Tulsi. If you want to play the clip of Tulsi Gabbard while she's talking about this entire issue. Is this the one, Rob, from the clip?
So I have two.
Coup against him and his administration.
Yep.
There you go. So that's that. So this is something real that happened. If this gets proven and people see it, the question then becomes, which is where Vinny always goes to, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen to Obama. But they are saying that Obama may be asked to be subpoenaed. Okay, House Speaker Mike Johnson says Congress might subpoena Obama over Russia conspiracy. Is this it, Rob? Can you play this clip?
I think we have a responsibility to follow the truth where it leads and to do it in an unbiased fashion, to do effectively the opposite of what that other team did. They're engaged in a partisan political plot to take down their foe and the other party. We need to be about the rule of law and bringing order to the chaos and searching out the truth, because the American people are owed those answers. So we have some very bright, very capable, very strong leaders at Judiciary and Oversight,
Rob,
Chairman Jim Jordan,
He
Chairman
does.
Jamie Comer, and the other committees that would be involved. And I do expect that whether there's a special counsel appointed, which some are suggesting, and or in conjunction with the House investigations, that we will get the answers, and there will be accountability to the extent that we're able to do that, referring people to the DOJ for prosecution and any other measure that is appropriate.
So what they're going to do is they're going to put it into committee, right? And once they get into committee, I'm going to show you exactly. I don't know if I went over this yesterday, but I'm going to show you exactly what they do all the fucking time, to where they actually say they're working, but at the same time, they're really not. They're trying to stall the process.
As we begin to uncover more of the facts.
Does it get tricky at all with the former president, President Obama, looking at what his role in this is and bringing him in for some sort of deposition, potential subpoena?
Well, listen, I mean, we have no concern about that. If it's uncomfortable for him, he shouldn't have been involved in overseeing this, which is what it appears to us has happened.
Okay, so where does he say, Rob, that he's going to be?
Well, I think that was like that was just him, Pat, saying basically like, what about Obama? That's him going, well, if he's involved, then it is what it is.
But that's not how I hear it. I'm reading an article here that says Mike Johnson says that he might be subpoenaed. Okay, he might not be. Now, the reaction by the media, Rob, that Tulsi says what she says, that's the one I want to see. Go for it.
CNN shut it
we
up,
have
by the way.
members of the media who were complicit in this from the very beginning, who were leaked early copies of this, or at least lines from this January 2017 Obama manufactured intelligence assessment. They printed what they were fed. People like Ellen Nakashima from the Washington Post, who, by the way, went on to win a Pulitzer Prize because for years she was so good at lying and not telling the truth to the American people that they gave her an award for it. These people are still here. Ellen Nakashima is still harassing people who work within the intelligence community, who are calling up and reporting her, using burner phones to try to ask them harassing questions.
Okay, who's this person she's talking about? Can you pull up the profile? Let's find out who she's talking about. Tom, do you know that person?
Yeah, she is a Washington Post reporter, and what she does is she basically is a regurgitator, and then she presents herself as a Washington insider. I've got all these contacts, got all this stuff going on, but she gets fed by the DNC, so she is their mouthpiece in the media. That's what she is. And they arranged for her to get a Pulitzer Prize in investigative journalism, where all she's doing is regurgitating.
I get that. Can you Google who she is?
Yep.
And just go to her Wikipedia. I want to find out who this person is. How do you say her name, Tom?
Nakashima.
Nakashima?
Nakatomi?
Are you being sarcastic?
Nakatomi
This is
Plaza?
topic, Tom. What do you mean Nakashima?
Really Nakashima?
Huh?
Knock it off, Tom.
Merry
Nakashima
Christmas.
before I knock it off. Here it is. Ellen Nakashima.
Okay, go to Ellen Nakashima.
Let's go look where she went to school, ladies and gentlemen.
Could I guess? Harvard?
A little bit.
Harvard?
WAPO,
Berkeley.
Pulitzer.
Berkeley!
It doesn't get worse than that. So she went to Berkeley, London.
Humanities.
University of Berkeley for Journalism, London.
Oh,
She
and then
began her
journalism.
career at Hartford Current
In
and
London.
NBC Patriot Ledger before joining WAPO as a reporter in 1990. She was a White House reporter since South Asia. She won a series of awards. Okay.
Covering national security since 2009.
One of the ones that was guest invited to state dinner hosted by U.S. President Joe Biden in honor of Prime Minister Fumio Kishida at the White House. Okay. So that's what our friend...
She's a Washington insider.
Yeah, that's what our friend
Inside her.
Tulsi's
From
talking
the Washington Post.
on information that's going on. Now, listen, as this is going, is this a method of overshadowing something else that may be taking place?
Yeah.
You know what's back? You know a fun fact about Tom Ellsworth that you all need to know about? Tom, how many Yetis do you have in your kitchen?
I believe I have about...
Yay.
DNI Tulsi Gabbard is doubling down on allegations that Obama, the administration officials, politicized intelligence against Donald Trump.
So Griff Jenkins is live at the White House with the details. Griff, update us.
Well, good morning, guys. DNI Gabbard certainly shook things up in the briefing room yesterday, releasing more documents accusing former President Obama and his top intel aides of manufacturing and politicizing intelligence that led to the years-long Russiagate investigation. And she's sending the documents, referring it to the DOJ for possible prosecution. Watch.
Believe that any of this new information implicates former President Obama in criminal behavior?
We have referred and will continue to refer all of these documents to the Department of Justice and the FBI to investigate the criminal implications of this.
For even former
The
President
evidence,
Obama?
correct.
They dropped the ball on the Epstein stuff, so yeah, we're totally not going to drop the ball on this Obama treason, persecution. Yeah. We got this.
Evidence that we have found and that we have released directly point to President Obama leading the manufacturing of this intelligence assessment.
A spokesman for President Obama's office issuing a statement saying, "Our office does not normally dignify the constant nonsense and misinformation flowing out of this White House with a response, but these claims are outrageous enough to merit one. These bizarre allegations are ridiculous and a weak attempt at
Wait, so you actually
distraction." Now, the
responded?
document released yesterday is a report written back in 2017 by the House Intelligence Committee, refuting the narrative that Putin preferred Trump over Clinton in 2016. The report also alleges Russian Foreign Intelligence Service was planning to release unverified health information on Clinton if she won, saying Clinton was suffering from intensified psycho-emotional problems, including uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness. Clinton was placed on...
Oh, so she was a hothead. You sure you want to give someone like her the nuclear codes? See what I mean? They were propping up somebody who was unfit to run while they were secretly using them as puppets.
On a daily regimen of heavy tranquilizers. Now, late
Drugged
last
up,
night, a
both of them.
longtime Clinton aide got back to Fox calling the claim, quote, ridiculous. And the top Democrats on the House and Senate Intelligence Committees are calling this all a mere distraction. Guys?
Well, it's a legitimate investigation. Thanks, Griff. And I guess the new revelations are they believe on December 9th that had a totally different conclusion about what Trump and Russia were doing in 2016. Up until December 9th, they had no problem saying that Russia tried to infiltrate into our elections, but were not successful. Something happened, and with Barack Obama leading this meeting, that said, we think it's
They
we
accidentally
believe
left
that
that
there
part
was
out.
in it to make Trump win.
My bad.
And we're going to investigate
You guys accept it?
collusion of the Trump campaign. And
Shut up,
that's when
Tony. I
2.5 years.
The year is.
All right. We're going to take a little bit of break from the news or, current events. we will go back to current events, just not that one specifically. But this story, I think it's Iwu. I mean, no, it's not Iwu. Sounds like it's from Iwu, but it's not. And I'm glad motherfuckers like this got caught. Especially when you find out who his victim really was. It took years.
2002, an 11-year-old playing around her house is taken to her room, and the door is locked. She's told to lie on the bed and pull down her pants. Her hands are pinned down, and she's threatened. If she utters a word, the family will be destroyed. Then something happens. Something so painful that she's unable to sit or walk normally for several days. It happens again and again, continuing for 4 years. 19 years later, police arrive at a man's house after receiving a call from the same girl.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Are you Andrew?
Yes.
Can I talk to you real quick?
Remember, guys, Democrats think it was like 8 years ago. It's not a problem anymore, right?
What's up?
Are you with the kids? Home with the kids?
No.
No? They're at school or with mom? Okay. All right, Andrew. So here's the deal, okay? And we're going to talk about this when we get back to the office, okay? But you're under arrest right now, okay? So go ahead and put your hands behind your back for me.
Can I get my wife real quick?
Nope.
We can get her before we leave, yep. Okay? We'll let her know.
Pinch it.
Do you mind if I yell in for her?
She's upstairs.
Is she going to hear me if I yell?
Probably not.
Okay. Can we walk in with you?
Yes.
All right. David 10, Cascade 1, custody.
You walk in handcuffed and your wife like, oh, you brought the strippers.
Not going to bite.
All right, Andrew, I'm going to stop you real quick, though. I'm going to read this to you, okay? So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used in the court of law. Hey, Courtney. Detective Nation is going to stay here for a moment. She can talk to you about what's going on, okay? I'm going to go back and chat with Andrew, okay? And hopefully everything will be clear by the time we're done here. Okay?
Andrew was the son of Mary and Michael, both pastors in the Salvation Army, a global Christian charitable organization founded in 1865. Michael was Andrew's stepfather, and the family lived in a house owned by the organization. The very house where Andrew raped the girl, his own biological sister.
The guy. Not just any random child.
So we're going to hop in
I mean, it doesn't make any work.
Car up here, but I got to search it first. So we'll go up to the front hood of that car right there.
Yeah.
Usually it's just like a big bag of meth, but people forget it's in there or something. So
I don't touch drugs.
All right.
That's good. It's not good for you.
Go ahead and stance, please. Thank you.
Do you want me to give this stuff? That's not yours, but do you want me to give this stuff to Courtney?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I prefer.
Go with that.
Just hold on.
Yeah, that way we don't have to track it around and figure out what's going on.
So there's a little cutout there in the plastic seat for your hands. So the running board there if you need, just watch your head. And once you get down there, it's not very comfortable.
I don't know if I'll be able to. Oh, there we go.
Get in there, fat ass.
My knees are shot.
Fatter people getting home.
Gotcha. Is there anything I can do to make it more comfortable, or do I need to help you get your leg up there?
I don't know if I can get my hands into a comfy spot. That's the problem.
Not supposed to be comfy.
There we go.
We're just heading to the Diana Quarters Police Department there. It's not very far. You okay?
Yeah. All right. I mean, I'm still curious about what all this is about and what's going on.
So I got to talk to Detective Corporal Michael there.
Hey, so you're Courtney?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of raping when they were kids.
Okay.
And there's been a no contact order in place.
For how long?
Since June of last year.
And when did she accuse him of this?
She accused him this just a little over a year ago.
Okay.
Shortly before the no contact order.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the only thing I know of. She accused him in 2011 after hearing about something happening to her youth pastor, and like kind of, I don't know, kind of took it on as her own, like oh, this happened to me kind of thing.
Who's her youth pastor?
I don't know. I don't remember him.
According to police reports, the youth pastor was identified as Wade, and he was the first person to stand up for the victim. In her interview, the victim said he had been mentoring her under the Salvation Army at the time. During one of their conversations, he opened up about his own trauma, which caused her to break down. When he asked if she had been going through something, She said yes and revealed what her brother had been doing. By that point, Andrew had even tried to penetrate her anally and attempted to have sex with her during a family vacation.
What the?
Their parents were asleep on the bed next to them when he tried to penetrate her, but stopped after their mother yelled at them for making noise.
You gonna be able to step out okay? There's a running board right here if you need it. Good.
There's no way to adjust the cuffs off.
Yeah, it seems we're gonna take you out. The cuffs right here. And just go ahead and take a seat in here, please. And Corporal Mike will be in here in just a little bit to talk to you.
Okay.
If you need something, there should be somebody on the other side of that window so you can tap on the glass.
They went through like an internal like thing with him, and then she like.
What do you mean by internal?
Internally, it was like with the Salvation Army.
Okay.
So they launched their own little like investigation, and then she went through and like recanted her statements of like, oh, this never actually really happened, and this kind of thing. So we went that whole spiel. Like we didn't talk to her for a really long time, and so that was that. That was the end of it.
Andrew, who was 15 when he started doing it, wasn't doing well in school and often brought trouble home. According to the victim, it started a few weeks after she got her first period, and because she was afraid her family would be destroyed, she never told anyone. The incident only came to light after Andrew got married, when Wade and the victim told the family they had something to share. After the victim finished telling them what had happened, none of the parents believed her, and Courtney became very defensive of Andrew. The matter was later taken up by investigators from the Salvation Army, during which the victim's parents forced her to send emails stating that everything she had said was false. After that, the investigation was dropped.
And then a little over a year ago,
Obviously a detective that sucks.
she started it back up again. Like she got into a new relationship, and one of her old
Detective
friends was
Jeff.
like, "Hey, just so you know, she said this happened to her." And then her fiance, boyfriend, or whatever, decided that they wanted to like make it into a thing again. And I'm like, okay, this never even happened. Falsely accusing him this whole time. And so in April, he tried to call her to kind of just talk to her about there's other things going on with the family too. He goes, like, he contacted her because she wasn't talking to his mom anymore, and he didn't know anything. Like they.
So she stopped talking to mom. Of fucking course she did.
Had a really good relationship, and had built that trust back up and kind of thing. It's like she'd come to visit and stuff like that. No issues, nothing until like a little over a year ago. It's like resurfaced everything. And so then he tried to call her about what was going on, like why she wasn't talking to mom anymore. I'm like, hey, I'm here for you. What's going on, you know? And then at that time in April, this is what basically she used this phone call against him. It's like, oh, I told him never to contact me again. Did not happen prior to that. So then there was no contact order put in place. He actually flew from Spokane to Colorado to be at the hearing because he was like, I'm not going to show. So he went there, did the court hearing, and then the contact order went from not having it like a permanent one forever to just a 1 year no contact order.
When the incident was revealed, Andrew remained silent throughout. Following that day, the victim's parents didn't speak to her for 6 months.
Of course.
The investigation took place sometime later. When detectives reached out to the youth pastor, he confirmed the incident and said that during the time he was mentoring her, they had bonded over shared trauma, but broke things off before they got too close. At one point, a nurse also told the victim there was evidence of a miscarriage. The assault stopped once Andrew got married, and the victim had no contact with him until very recently, when he began sending her voicemails saying how much he loved her. She deleted them and blocked him.
Okay.
Weird.
So, who said she recanted? How did
it was, well, his mother.
When you say allegations, what allegations are you talking about?
She accused him of raping her when they were teenagers. Like he's like 4 years older than her, and so he accused her of that.
Okay.
Or she accused him of that, excuse me. There was a bunch of stuff where her fiance, boyfriend, whatever he is now,
That's not the detective.
like, was being like super aggressive towards towards her mom, or to my husband's mother, and like threatening her, and so she tried to like say, look, I don't want you around.
Yeah, I
Tried
think
to do
they
a restraining
said
order 'cause he was just
it lasted 4 years, and he was 15 when it started.
psychotic. And then it got thrown into the mix that, oh, you're protecting your son, but not your daughter scenario. That's when my husband reached out to us, like in April, and was like, hey, you know, I just want you to know I'm here for you. You know, he's trying to like be there for her because he knows what it's like when like his mom didn't care for a fiance or girlfriend or anything like that, because I've dealt with that in the past with her. And then that's when the restraining order, like the papers were served for the restraining order at that point. So from there, I'm like, okay, restraining order, cool. We don't need to talk to her anymore. He's cool with not talking to her anymore
crazy,
either.
but she's not telling, a detective hasn't been telling her anything except for the whole reason he's being arrested. Everything after that is literally, she knows everything. She literally knows everything, the whole process of what happened. That's what makes it even fucking more weird.
Deleted her phone numbers, blocked her, blocked him on everything, because I was just like, we're not going down this road of like this game that she's playing anymore. So we just decided that we're cutting ties with her, even though she's in control, obviously, with the legal system as far as like getting the paperwork in, like restraining order. It was more like, cool, this is more of a mutual decision than anything else. So
In another investigation conducted by the Salvation Army, Andrew's dad was found guilty of cheating on his wife, after which he died by suicide.
Oh.
In his interview, Andrew claimed that his sister had made false allegations against him. He told detectives that she may have entered his room while he was masturbating, or that they may have kissed beyond what's appropriate between siblings, but insisted he never hurt her and called her psychotic. He said he was sorry for whatever happened, that he loved her and wanted to mend the bond.
All right, so here's the deal. I did talk to my boss, okay, and the attorney's office, okay, and if you want, you put him in the jail for the night. Okay, because what that does is you see a judge then immediately, and the judge can decide if
What's
this
up,
is something
Dominic?
we need to hold you for, if you can go back home. Otherwise, it's kind of just hanging up in the air, and then worst case scenario is that the judge looks at it and goes, whoa, why did this guy not get in front of me, and then puts a warrant out for you, and then that's a whole other nightmare, right? Okay. So it's probably better just to get it done immediately, and that way you can see, you might even, if you get over there fast enough, they might even still have a judge there. Okay? Okay. So that's what they're going to want to do at this point. That way the judge will be able to look at the paperwork and say, you know, no, he doesn't need to be here, or whatever. It's up to them at that point. So. All right. Okay.
Andrew was sentenced to prison for 26 months for the charges of incest in second degree and rape in third degree. Blinded by lust, he not only destroyed his own life, but gave a lifelong trauma to his sister, his family, and his 4 young kids. It is important to take these cases seriously and educate our children when they're young.
Shit, just over 2 years for all that? That's fucking nuts. That's crazy. 4 fucking year-long rape. 28 months, or 24, 28 months. All right. All right. What's next? Oh, yeah.
Learning more about a professor at the
If Yeti's here.
University of Arkansas. We're learning more about a professor at the University of Arkansas who reportedly confessed to downloading and then viewing child sexual abuse materials. 5 News reporter Kayla Davis in the newsroom now to break down the details after hearing from a Washington County prosecutor. Kayla, what do we know about this right now?
Yeah, Darren, according to Brandon Carter, prosecuting attorney for the 4th Judicial District, the University of Arkansas professor made statements about possessing child sexual abuse materials, which led to his arrest and so far 1 charge of possession. On July 11th, around 7:30 a.m., investigators searched 34-year-old Joshua Eric McGee's home on North Betty Jo Drive in Fayetteville. They say they found a thumb drive containing multiple folders of child sexual abuse material. The search came after the Internet Crimes
Every
Against
time I hear the city of Fayetteville, first thing that comes to mind is North Carolina. What a shitty fucking city. Call it Vietnam. Wannabe gangsters. All over the place. Stupid ass 80-second drunk 80-second soldiers thinking their shit don't stink.
children alerted Fayetteville PD that content was being downloaded to McGee's address.
He was arrested on July 11th. The court set a bond for him, which he posted the next day on July 12th.
That bond was set at $5,000, and now he awaits an upcoming court date next month, just over a week before the first day of class begins at the University of Arkansas.
The thing that's unusual about Mr. McGee, obviously, is his place of employment at the University of Arkansas, and that's what seems to make him stand out.
We reached out to the University of Arkansas for an interview. They gave 5 News a statement saying, quote, Joshua McGee, a teaching assistant professor in exercise science, has been placed on administrative leave. Carter says child predators remain an ongoing problem and believes the state must continue to make this issue a top priority.
This office in the state takes such a strong stance on CSAM cases is because the children depicted in CSAM images are just as much of a victim as somebody who has been actively offended on. In fact, people in those images were actively offended on. That's why the image exists. The difference is that every time that image is distributed, that child is re-victimized again.
McGee is scheduled to show up in court.
That's why I find it odd that they want unredacted videos and pictures on the Democrat side on the Epstein client list or Epstein files. They want the unredacted information. Names, pictures, everything. Doesn't make sense. And Clay Higgins, guys.
Oversight and Reform is back in session. Let me just announce to the members that we're going to get as much done as we can while votes are about to be called so we can move forward with these proceedings reflective of our rules. I believe Mr. Perry had sought recognition for.
That's right, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I have a motion to subpoena the following individuals to expand the full committee's investigation into Ms. Maxwell, and the list reads as follows. William Jefferson Clinton, Hillary Diane Rodham Clinton, James Brian Comey, Loretta Elizabeth Lynch, Eric Hampton Holder Jr.
I think this is why I picked this one specifically. I thought it was the Biggs video. So they're going to list off a bunch of names for Democrats. And they're going to vote. Oh, not vote. There's going to be, you know what? Pay attention.
Merrick Brian Garland, Robert Swan Muller III, William Pelham Barr, Jefferson Beauregard Sessions III, and Alberto Gonzalez. That's the full list, Mr. Chairman, and that's the motion.
The gentleman has a motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying no. No. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the motion is agreed.
And this is what I was talking about, where they can't get anything done because they're always going to object to everything. Both sides will do it. And then they'll bring up some concerns. They have to look it up. And then they'll have a vote like this, and you hear the ayes and nays, and they're going to request a by name vote. Happens every time. And sometimes they do it multiple times within 10 minutes.
Agreed to.
But this whole video, you know what, we'll get.
Recorded vote is requested. Immediate. The clerk will call the roll.
Oh, that's what I really want to get to, though. Why did they try to vote against having... Oh, no. I'm not going to ruin it to you. Fuck. I almost did.
You clerk, distribute a copy, please.
Take the fucking vote, for Christ's sakes. It's not a silent vote.
I'm not sure that's within the rules, but does another member have? I'm not sure that's within the rules, but does another member have a request?
It is.
Mr. Chairman.
In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. Does Mr. Biggs have a motion?
I do, Mr. Chairman. I move that at the bottom of the current motion that it state the following.
Oh, additionally, yeah, Mr. Biggs.
I move that at the bottom of the current motion that it state the following. Additionally, all communications between President Biden or the Biden officials and the prosecuting agency related to the Epstein prosecutors also be released.
And that's at the bottom of which present motion, sir?
Here comes
I'm not sure. I never received a copy of the motion, but it's the Democrats' motion that we're considering.
You're talking about amending the motion of Ms. Lee?
Yeah, it is Ms. Lee that made the motion of for the subpoena. I did not get a copy of that, sir.
Retard. How are you going to bring it up if you don't have a fucking copy? Idiot. Come on, Garcia, say something. Hurry up, faggot.
We might have to. I think our preference and our request is to have the clean.
Here we go.
And Mr. Chair, I think our preference and our request is to have the clean motion that Ms. Lee made to release the Epstein files. This is the vote that we'll be voting for.
Yes, and the gentleman's argument is being discussed. There's a parliamentarian discussion going on between the majority and the minority right now. We're going to follow the rules. In the meantime, votes have been called, and pursuant to the previous order, the subcommittee stands in recess. We'll be returning as fast as possible.
Wait, they didn't do the main stuff. Why was that there? That wasn't supposed to be in there. My bad, guys. This was.
A federal judge in Florida has denied the Justice Department's request to unseal grand jury material related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The DOJ had asked last week for the grand jury testimony to be made public. The information would have come from the 2005 and 2007 investigations into Epstein, which were for state charges. A separate judge is still considering whether to unseal grand jury documents from Epstein's federal indictment in 2019. CBS News legal contributor and Loyola Law School professor Jessica Levinson joins us now. Jessica, always great.
So this is like the biggest topic in the country. Epstein's dead. Why can't the testimony be released? And why was it only tried in the state courts on the initial 2006-2007 charges? Or was it 2009? It doesn't fucking matter. Why was it only state charges? Why didn't it get federal? Pretty sure there's a reason, and not really sure who it is. It's not Pam Bondi, but...
To have you on. So why did the judge deny the request in the first place?
So the judge was pretty specific. She said the court's hands are tied here and that the Department of Justice had essentially acknowledged as much. If you look at the filing by the Department of Justice, they said, as they had to say, that there wasn't one of the specific exceptions under the statute that would allow for the release of grand jury testimony. We should, of course, remember that the baseline, the default rule, is that grand jury testimony is secret, that the proceedings are secret, that is meant to control the proceedings, protect witnesses, and you need a really good reason to say we have to go against that default rule. The Department of Justice, again, essentially acknowledged we don't fit within one of the exceptions, but argued there's this overriding public interest in saying we should release at least part of the information. The judge said that this is a trial court judge, again, looking at the 11th Circuit precedent. That's the circuit court that Florida's under. Basically, that, again, the judge's hands are tied.
So is there any way, though, for these records to be unsealed, or even parts of the things that you said protect other people, maybe being blacked out, or just getting a better sense of what we haven't seen yet?
So there's a couple of routes. And of course, all of this is to the side of the other files, the FBI files, just looking at the grand jury, where, again, the legal default is that this should remain secret. There could, of course, be an appeal of this judge's decision. Again, this is a district court judge's decision, but I do think it complies with 11th Circuit precedent. Then there's also that that request in New York, and potentially you could have a judge go the other way when it comes to the request in New York to unseal the grand jury testimony. I'm not sure it would, but those are the routes, essentially appeal or hope that things are different in a different jurisdiction.
So many people have come out over the last several years who have talked very explicitly about what they experienced as it relates to Jeffrey Epstein. When it comes down to it, how much more information about Epstein can we expect to get from grand jury transcripts?
I want to emphasize the last part of your question from grand jury transcripts, which is that there are, of course, robust files that are not part of the grand jury transcripts where maybe there is additional information. You're, of course, right to point out that a lot of this is already public. But when it comes to the grand jury information, I'm not sure that we would find a lot of new information. It wouldn't be the client list people are interested in. We wouldn't be looking at videos and photos. In terms of the public interest, I don't know that it would shed that much new light on the case.
All right, Jessica Levinson shedding light on this case for us.
Yeah, you're right. What could a grand jury testimony possibly do, right? It won't shed any new light on anything, but it would shed light on what they decided to charge him for and what they didn't, right? It's not about him. Not anymore. Motherfucker's dead. Unless he really is living in Israel. Huh? Huh?
The gentlelady yields. Mr. Biggs, the gentleman from Arizona, is recognized for question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And so much of what I just heard is untrue. But what I would say, too, is, when you cast aspersions about the Inspector General Kafari, I wonder, did you read the report that he submitted for this? Did you read the report that we're discussing today?
I did.
No, I know you did. I wonder about the people who are telling lies about you, whether they did. And then they say, we can't believe a thing you said. Well, everything you said undermines what I think everybody on this committee should be worried about, and that is this horrible scourge of trying to find these kids who brought in and let in. I get it. just absolutely mind blown by people making these assertions.
The number that Biggs gives here is probably the most accurate number I've ever heard reported out of anybody, to include the media and Congress.
Have you been down to the border? I've been down to the border many times. I know you have, Mr. Kafari.
I have as well.
And have you brought people to the border? Have you interviewed people that are in detention? Have you interviewed children who come across without parents? This government, under Joe Biden,
here it comes.
Under Joe Biden, received hundreds of thousands of unaccompanied children. Is that fair to say, Mr. Kafari?
So the number is around 448,000.
448,000. See, I was going for 45,000, 450,000. So I was close. My guesstimates were way better, but far from the 300,000 that has been reported by a lot of legacy media, and to include Trump himself. I think he thought it was 3.5.
And of those, do we know where all those 448,000 unaccompanied children are?
As of the date of the report, we did not. Like I mentioned, ICE and HHS are now going out in tandem to go and identify where these children are located.
Are you familiar with a case in Orlando, Florida, where 22 children at one time or another were placed with a strip club?
Dude, I didn't know about this.
That's a new one.
Yeah. Well, that happened. And you know what? That's not the only time that type of thing happened. Multiple children going to the same address, which turned out to be vacant addresses. Is that right?
That's correct. There was one instance where our audit team, and I have some of those senior members here with me today, went physically out to look at addresses. There was one address where 35 unaccompanied alien children were designated to be, and it was a non-existing address.
Oh, that's fun.
Were there records kept about the vetting of the sponsors
Nope.
that were being placed, where these children were being placed under the Biden administration?
The change in the MOU between HHS and DHS in the summer of 21 removed the requirement for DHS to do the vetting. That vetting then fell on HHS to do, but it was only for the adult sponsor, not for all the individuals in the home.
And are you referring to the Mayorkas 2021 memo that deprioritized unaccompanied children cases, labeling them non-criminal?
I think that he issued that memorandum in the fall of 21. This is a change in an MOU that happened in the summer of 21 that predated that.
Okay. So Mr. Perry brought up offenses against children. And it doesn't take much to go to 18 U.S.C. Section 2251, and then also the aid and abet statutes, to realize that the policies, when you are labeling what's happening, the unaccompanied children, as non-criminal, if you've ever stood there and watched a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old come over in a group put together by a coyote with a 10-year-old not related to those two younger kids, bringing them across, you'd have to say there's some criminal conduct there. There is absolutely abuse of children going on there. That's what was going on wildly, often under the previous administration. And I'm sorry that you had to endure the BS that you've had to today. Your report is right, and I hope my colleagues read that report and tell me where any of it's untrue. And I will yield the balance, but I do have some.
They're not going to repeat that shit.
Gentleman yields the balance. I'd just like to point out to my colleagues that at any given time in American prisons, there are 750 to 850,000 incarcerated Americans that are parents of minor children. So when my colleagues discuss our efforts to keep families together during the deportation process, that's important. The gentleman yields his time.
I have some UCs, sir.
Gentleman has unanimous consent.
Thank you. This is a letter
I don't think I'm going to play this one.
Please.
It's fucking 20. Yeah, we're not playing that.
I'm Jill Savage, joined as always.
A federal judge has
Here we go.
denied the DOJ's request to release the Jeffrey Epstein grand jury transcripts.
Lucas Tomlinson is live in Washington with all the details. Hi, Lucas.
Well, good early morning to Carly and Todd. A federal judge in Florida has denied one of 3 Justice Department requests to unseal grand jury records tied to Jeffrey Epstein, according to documents released yesterday. According to Judge Robin Rosenberg, quote, 11th Circuit Federal Appeals Court law does not permit this court to grant the government's request. The court's hands are tied, a point the government concedes. Now, Judge Robin Rosenberg was a...
So, I already talked about this. This is not the one I really wanted to talk about. So, they're saying that court can't do it, right? But, why not move higher than a federal appeals court? Wait, what's higher than a federal appeals court? How about an appeal to the appeal? But that's not why we're here.
Appointed by Barack Obama in 2014, she says only narrow exemptions permit the release of such documents. And as you mentioned off the top, Trump's Deputy Attorney General could meet Ghislaine Maxwell as soon as today.
There you go.
A lawyer welcoming the meeting, posting on X, quote, no previous prosecutor from the Southern District of New York or elsewhere has had the courage to meet with Ms. Maxwell and ask her these important questions. So we are grateful to Mr. Blanche and his DOJ that they are approaching this with an open mind. That's how our system is supposed to work. Maxwell could be meeting with more people as well. The Republican chairman of the House Oversight Committee announcing he has issued a subpoena for a deposition. James Comer says, quote, while the department undertakes efforts to uncover and publicly disclose additional information related to your and Mr. Epstein's cases, it is imperative that Congress conduct oversight of the federal government's enforcement of sex trafficking laws generally and specifically its handling of the investigation and prosecuting of you and Mr. Epstein. And that deposition would take place in Tallahassee, where Ms. Maxwell is currently serving a 20-year sentence. Carly, Todd?
Lucas.
At Club Med. It's happening, guys. How do I know it's happening? Well,
Ghislaine Maxwell's sit-down with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche comes as pressure builds across party lines for answers. The battle for information leading House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer to issue a subpoena for Maxwell to testify before his panel.
Next month, lawmakers will head to the prison where Maxwell is right now serving a 20-year sentence to hear exactly what she has to say.
No,
we
I can
have
see why
live
they
Fox
wouldn't
News.
take her out of prison to all at a Capitol Hill. She's rich. She's rich. It might be like that movie SWAT.
News team
The
coverage
movie, not the show.
for you. Jonathan Turley is here on that in moments.
But we begin with our David Spont. He's live here in Washington with the latest on this meeting between Todd Blanche and Ghislaine Maxwell. Dave?
Well, hey, John, good to be with you. It's not clear exactly what time this meeting began today, how long it will go, or even what they're talking about, though clearly we'd love to be a fly on the wall to hear that conversation. But Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche is meeting with the former girlfriend and convicted co-conspirator of Jeffrey Epstein. As we mentioned, it's happening at the courthouse in
I really don't know what this is going to fucking do. Probably nothing, just like everything else. Just like everything else. But
I can. It's going to be real quick. I got to vote.
What do you make of the fact that the president was informed by Pam Bondi that his name had appeared in the Epstein files back in May? Does that make you want more of
say what? Back in May?
this information? Does this make you question whether or not the president is withholding it for any particular reason?
Well, listen, I want all the information out. I mean, my consistent view has been they ought to make all of it public. I just think that's the wise thing to do. The president said this the other day that Bondi ought to release anything and everything that's, like a legitimate, which I assume this will be like hundreds of thousands of pages. I mean, the MLK files were what, like 240,000 pages of documents. So we're talking about a prosecution file. I mean, this, it's gonna be big. So I think the best thing to do is just put it all out there.
Do you think the Senate Judiciary Committee has a role in a subpoena to release
They
those
do.
files, like the House Oversight Committee?
Well, I tell you what I think we ought to do is I understand Ghislaine Maxwell's offer to testify. I think the House has expressed interest in this. We should do like a joint committee and do a House-Senate joint committee on this and have her testify.
Bro, That would be something. I will watch every second of that. Well, not every second. Okay, maybe a couple hours here and there.
And yeah, I'm assuming she has something real to say, but I think she would. She's serving whatever 20-year prison sentence.
So are you concerned the president could have halted the release of documents because he was worried his name was in there?
No, I mean, look, everybody knows that he knew Epstein at some point. They're both New York. I mean, there's a video of it. Now, he's said this for years, so I don't think any of that's a surprise that he's mentioned the documents. I mean, of course, it's everybody who's ever met the guy is going to be mentioned. I mean, again, we're probably talking about hundreds of thousands of pages. I'm just, as a former prosecutor, like you have a prosecutor file. I mean, it's probably like every scrap of paper Epstein's ever had. I mean, that's what I want if I was a prosecutor. So, it's not a surprise. Like anybody who ever met him is going to be mentioned, quote unquote. So I don't think that's a big deal.
Senator, do you find it strange?
But nor is it a reason to withhold the documents. I mean, she could put them all out there.
Do you find it strange, or can you understand why there's confusion where the president spent most of the campaign mentioning these files in some capacity? And then Pam Bondi said, we have this list on my desk, and then they just don't release it, and then start talking about Obama and Clinton and everybody else. Does that sit right with you? Does it pass the smell test?
Well, I think this goes back to, listen, this is, you mentioned the Attorney General. I mean, this is the Attorney General's call at the end of the day, because this has been, the Department of Justice led the prosecutions in the Epstein case, so they have possession of the files. And the papers, again, it's probably huge, and I think they ought to release them. I mean, I think that's the right thing to do. And yeah, I mean, most of it, it's kind of like, it'll be like what we saw with the JFK and MLK files. A lot of it will be prosaic. And who knows, maybe there won't be any revelations in there, but I still think you should release them.
Do you have confidence in Bondi?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think the president does, and that's the main thing. I think she's done a good job. I mean, I can understand if you're a prosecutor. I mean, prosecutors never like to open stuff up because they think, well, I might need this for a future prosecution. And if you open up a whole bunch of files, you lose any element of surprise for people you're going to charge in the future. So I understand. I've been a prosecutor. I understand that. But this case is a little different. Epstein's dead. Maxwell's in prison.
Oh, wait, did he say Epstein's dead, so it's different? That's what I said.
Let's talk about the #1 state in unemployment.
I think, yep. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, our time has come to an end today because yeah, I just feel like it. Anyway. Okay, maybe not. I actually want to play.
Or you're fine. And if I catch you, I'll be
right. Was that a threat?
It was.
Why don't I just do something now?
Oh, you want me to beat your ass so I can go to jail?
We don't provoke.
Man.
No, I don't like him, so he could die. Especially her.
Isn't that a good thing that he exists?
No, I don't like him, so he could die. I don't want to get canceled.
You canceled, girl.
I hope your future employers do not get wind of this video because you won't get a job.
You don't think so?
No, the amount of curse words you've said, you can't debate. And lawyers are meant to debate.
Yo, watch this fucking
If you could say one thing to a Trump supporter, what would you say to them?
Oh, yeah, go fuck yourself.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
What would you say to a Trump supporter?
So, your Mexican family? Where is he now?
What?
Huh?
Where's your Mexican family?
All right, go ahead and say it to him.
I'm a Trump supporter. What would you say to me?
Could you say what you said?
Hate everybody or
Do you
just
have a
like...
daughter?
No. Yeah.
That's exactly why.
Oh.
Exactly why what?
Why you're the way you are now.
Yeah,
what does that mean?
A lot. Look at your hat.
What does that have to do with having a daughter, though? I don't understand.
What do you mean?
Oh, boy.
The women's rights. How he talk to women, how he treat women.
What's that to do with immigration?
You don't think that's...
Could I answer this?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm a woman. I support Donald Trump. I am anti-abortion. I know that's what you're leading to, talking about women's rights. As a fellow woman...
I wasn't even going there.
Oh, okay, all right.
There,
okay, I'm sorry. What rights, what women's rights am I talking about? Are you talking about that's not abortion?
Maybe I am talking about abortion.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just abortion, and he talks about people's private parts like it's like,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So you're anti-abortion?
I am anti-abortion, yes.
Why?
Because I think that abortion takes the life of an innocent person, and I think that we shouldn't be killing innocent people, especially someone who
But it's not a person yet.
Okay.
When does it become a person?
When it's developed consciousness.
Can I ask you something? Okay, so what about the ones that are like... So what about somebody that got raped?
Did he say when it develops consciousness? Somebody want to tell him? Because it's not born yet is why he says it's not a baby until it develops consciousness. Somebody want to tell him?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a terrible, that I feel awful about that. That's disgusting. And I think we need to have harsher punishments for people who abuse women and other people in general to that degree. They should have harsher punishments. However, I don't think that taking the life of the person who is conceived in an awful circumstance is, I don't think we should take the life of the baby. Yeah, that baby did nothing.
What about the ones that grow up in poverty?
Yeah, I don't think we should kill them either.
Yeah, because like most people can't be parents.
They want to take away all the, they want to take away the, what is it called?
Hold on. So if someone might be poor, you believe in preemptively killing them before they might be poor?
Not just
not even. I feel like you should, if you know that you're not financially stable to have a child. I don't feel like, and if you know, you was having sex unprotected, but you got pregnant, but you know you don't have the means for a child.
What about adoption?
What about it?
Why not have the baby and put it up for adoption?
Do you know how kids are treated in adoption?
I was adopted.
Foster care?
I was adopted. He was adopted.
You were? Well, you were one of the lucky ones that didn't get abused, raped. What?
Do you know how many parents, do you know how many Americans are waiting to adopt in America right now?
Do you know how many people who adopt the children mistreat them?
Do you know how many
Do you know
are
how
waiting?
many people that?
So I want to respond to that.
That's not, why would they call us out like this? Like, oh my, why are y'all calling me out right now? But
so to explain, to respond to that, although the foster system might not be perfect for every person and every child, I don't think that we should abort them and end their life in utero to avoid maybe, because we don't know what anyone's life will be like. We don't know who will adopt them. So it's not okay to preemptively kill someone because they might suffer later. Suffering.
Oh, you fucking retard. You're a
You were in a womb once, right?
Excuse me?
You were in a womb once. You were in a womb once. I was in a womb.
I don't remember that.
Everybody of course not, but the point is that's just
I don't remember being 2 years old. Would it be okay to kill me when I was 2?
But you were born. We're talking about the ones that aren't. And when we even get deeper into that, they say before 6 weeks. Before 6 weeks, we don't know if it's a girl, boy. We don't know.
That's not true. At conception, it's determined your eye color, your hair color, your height, your proclivity to being obese at conception. Literally the sex. Yeah, so conception is before 6 weeks.
So they can tell that?
Yep, you can tell someone's gender and sex at conception.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
I'll have to look that up.
Do you have kids?
I do.
You have kids?
Yes.
And if you got pregnant by mistake and you were in a messed up situation, you would keep your child?
Yeah, so people don't get pregnant by mistakes because I don't think children are a mistake, no matter in what circumstances.
I don't think a 15-year-old got pregnant on purpose. No, do we?
Yeah, no.
I'm not saying that she got pregnant on purpose. I'm saying I don't think children are ever a mistake. No, no, they're not. I'm going to answer your question though. If I got pregnant, let me answer the question. Let me answer the question. If I got,
is it because I'm black?
Why is that happening today? It's the third time.
We've been talking to everybody.
Anyway, I'm going to answer your question. Okay. If I got pregnant,
they did a whole segment where they asked everybody, and they were like, all right, this Mexican Trump lover is going to come up and see if they say the same thing. This lady wanted to keep talking and stayed.
Can I answer your question?
No. Where's this going?
Okay, then I'm not going to talk to you if you're gonna point your finger in my face. This is my YouTube channel. I have about 1 million subscribers, so you have the chance to articulate your opinions and your beliefs to 1 million people who might see this.
Because
I believe that if I were to get pregnant outside of what I would expect, or in a time frame that I did not expect to get pregnant, one, I would be so grateful to God for this gift of another child, because all children are gifts, and I would never, ever support or think that I would ever be in a situation where I'd be better off without them existing in my life. I knew from the moment I got those 2 positive pregnancy tests, I had a person, not just a human being in a shell of a skin shell here. They're not a slab of meat in my stomach. They're a person. They have a soul, and they matter. And not once did I ever think, oh my gosh, what's inside of me? I had a person inside of me.
I don't even think people think like that. I don't think people think like that. I think
you guys just said that it's not a person.
Yeah, no, it's not.
I didn't say it.
If it's not a person, what is it? What was I pregnant with? No, Don't
I didn't
touch my
say
stuff.
it wasn't a person.
He said it, and that's why I'm talking to him. That's why the microphone's up to him.
Okay, so
if I was not pregnant with a person, what was I pregnant with?
A fetus?
Okay. What does fetus mean?
Oh, God.
Okay, so
What kind of? Please stop answering for him. He's got this. What type of fetus? What type of fetus was I pregnant with?
don't say nothing.
What is it?
What type of fetus was I pregnant with?
This is a lot. This is your Tuesday? Is it my
All
Tuesday?
I'm saying is,
I want to know what he's saying.
that
You
mean?
keep answering for him. Don't do
he
that.
don't want to talk.
Why can't you back up and answer the question?
Because he don't want to
Because I
talk.
didn't know this was going to be all on TV.
I mean,
So if
not
it's
even-
if I wasn't pregnant with a person, I just had a fetus inside of my uterus. What type of fetus was I pregnant with?
The same fetus anybody else would have?
Yeah, which is
I don't have a feeder.
A fetus?
a human fetus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a human fetus.
I mean, it wouldn't be a dog fetus.
That's exactly my point.
Okay,
that
but
women get pregnant with people, with other humans. They can't get pregnant with anything
It's
else.
before you can even call them people, though.
Okay.
That's
When
not
is a person a person?
born when they're born day, but not even.
Yeah,
That's not
when
even.
they have a
Well, not
birthday.
even.
That's
When
not
they
even a
have
point,
birthday.
though.
So what are they before that?
Well, I guess some people say a baby in their stomach, and I would agree with that. Sure, that's a baby. But, like,
Okay.
if you're trying to, you know, it's...
How
Seems
would
like it's
you?
Yeah,
on
you-
both sides
you
of your
just sound
mouth.
stupid now.
It's a baby, but it's not a baby. We're just looking for some consistency for you to
Because
like
that's
think
what-
about
Let
this.
him talk, but you won't let me talk.
But it comes from...
Because you keep interrupting people, and I'm not
He
talking
just
to you, and you're
interrupted
trying to control everybody's conversation.
guess that
So
I'm-
It don't matter.
we're not talking to you anymore. We're talking to him.
Now you're not talking to him at all. Actually, come on, let's
Oh,
go.
she controls you like that?
That's
That's my
listen,
sister.
okay? Because I think we're gonna leave.
I would advise you to do that because you sound very goofy, and now all these people are going to see how goofy you guys look.
Fuck them and fuck you. I don't care.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, fuck you.
Thank
What
you.
about me? Was that directed at me too?
Do you want to be fucked too? Cause fuck you
Not
too.
by you.
Fuck you too.
No,
Fuck you
I'm
talking
good.
about with your dumb ass. Trump don't even like you or your kind. Fuck who we talk about. And bitch, don't.
How are you doing?
Yeah. Fuck y'all. Fuck you.
Okay, have a good Tuesday.
And if I catch you, I'll be sorry.
If you catch me what? If you catch me what? Was that a threat?
It was.
Okay. You know who they call me?
Oh, it was.
You guys know what my nickname is, by the way? So if anybody thinks that they're...
You. Fuck her.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Why not just do it right now?
Yeah, why not just do something now?
Oh, you want me to beat your ass so I can go to jail? Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you just do something right now then?
Hi. Hi, yeah? We don't provoke.
I feel like, wait, no, 'cause
You
I
don't
want to say
promote,
something.
but the
'Cause
fuck, that bomb is not
called us to
provoking.
talk.
I mean, I pay my security guard to do something, so, I mean, might as well get the use out of it, right?
Right,
He
exactly.
sounds like that dude.
What you recording me for?
Multiple cameras.
Girl, fuck you.
You are very ladylike. I think you're a good representation of your generation of women. Yeah.
And what do you think you're doing? Supporting Trump?
Yeah, I don't support killing children in the womb because they might be an inconvenience on my life.
Yeah, if you don't want to kill your child, that's fine. But I feel like if somebody else wants to, that should
Yeah, they should go to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope,
But the
agreed.
felon, but you voted for a felon. What about him? You don't think he should go to jail?
When you say felon.
Because your hat. Take the hat off.
Yeah, you pointed at me, not that.
You know, they keep saying as a felon, but do they know what he did? Do they actually know what he did? I don't think they do.
Hat though.
What about him?
Why should what about Trump?
Yeah, the felon that you voted for.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I could come to a compromise. Put Trump in jail if we make abortion illegal. We could come to a compromise.
Okay, cool.
Okay, yeah.
But
yeah. Abortion, all abortion.
Illegal.
No, not all of them are illegal. That they all should be.
You don't feel like if somebody feel like a child is a burden on them, they shouldn't. Not even a burden. Like you don't feel like if somebody is not mentally or physically in the shape. You overstimulating me. Can you back up?
This generation is
I know, right?
overstimulating from a hat that you don't like the words
There's
on.
anxiety
I'm talking
kicking
about
in
the
'cause he's
camera.
so
You don't see the
fucking
camera?
retarded.
You have the same thing in your hand.
You've been recording us with your cell phone this whole time.
All right.
Anyway,
Wait, no, we're not done
I
talking.
think that once
just
you
feel like-
mature a little bit and
No,
you
it's not
might
even
come
that.
into
It's not even that.
adulthood and womanhood, and I think one day when you're a mother, you're going to look back, you're going to remember this conversation. And if you don't remember it, you can find it on our channel, Liberty Hangout on YouTube. You can hit that subscribe button. And then I think you'll regret this conversation saying that it would be okay to terminate a child's life if they're a burden.
Terminate a child's life.
Yeah.
But if you feel
have,
as
like,
if
4
that
kids
you're
and
before
5
6
people
weeks
saying
pregnant, right, and you know that that child will not be where it needs to be, like, you know, you don't feel like your child will be, if you don't feel like your child will grow up with his needs, you don't feel like you are where you need to be at in life, why do you want to bring a child in that? Why would you want to bring a child in a domestic home? Say your husband be abusing you, beating on you. Why would you want a child to grow up in that? Say you're not even financially stable. Why would you want a child to grow up missing meals, trying to figure out when you going to let them eat? Yeah.
So I think your answer to that should be women should step up. They should step up. Instead of killing their child or ending their life so that they don't have to put a child through that, they should sacrifice and make hard decisions and do what they need to do.
I know, right? But I don't like her at all. So I got something to say. Wait, no, I don't want to talk.
He looks like someone I definitely care the opinions of. I think that women, when they get pregnant and they're in hard situations, they should have a better situation for their child.
Why are you coming out here asking these people?
Yeah, so I'm a content creator and this is what I do.
Why? Why are you doing that? Why would you want?
She gets millions of views every video. So
Who the fuck is this? And why would you keep talking to me?
Who are you? Where they can find you?
You guys could find me Adam Francisco on YouTube. I'm not as big as Caitlyn, but some of my videos do pretty well too.
I'm messing with you because you're Mexican.
But now that he interrupted me, it's okay. Why? Because he's a Trump supporter?
Yeah, yeah, I prioritize the speech of Trump supporters.
That's
Yeah.
not even a point. When I was trying to say something,
He has never threatened to beat me up either. So.
But now that he interrupted and say something, it's not a problem.
So you remember, we started this conversation by him saying that he would tell a Trump supporter, "Go F yourself."
Right.
And when I walked up,
Yeah,
okay, but when
yeah,
I
like
walked
it
up,
never.
it didn't come out until. I'm just saying it didn't come out until
Oh,
now.
you
But
thought somebody was scared of you?
that's
'Cause you
no, I
walked
wasn't.
up.
I
Nah,
wasn't
it's
scared. It's
still
just
the same. No, it's still the same.
it's just common courtesy not to say it to someone that you don't know. It's just common.
He's scary. He walked up right after the kid said it, and he didn't say it again.
Courtesy. You said it many times.
You and her. I just want us.
Do you know any other words?
So, yeah.
Okay. Come up with something else creative. Okay. You can get better than that. Come on.
I'm just saying though.
I know your mama taught you more words than that.
Do you have? Are you? Do you? Are you?
You want to go next?
You want to say something? I don't know. They're Trump supporters and they're trying to figure out why ain't nobody else supporting Trump.
Yeah, no one did. That's why he won the popular vote, guys. No one else. Are you wondering why no one else supports Trump?
Yeah, I've never been a Trump supporter before in my life.
Are you forgetting that he got impeached?
Yeah, what is
You
impeachment?
know what impeachment?
Do this already?
What is impeachment?
You guys.
I don't know. You tell me.
You don't know what impeachment
Tell me. Yeah, you got
Tell me
like.
what it is.
Isn't there somebody in Georgia that just gave birth and they completely brain dead? Like that baby's
that was
not.
her wishes. The mother asked for the baby to be delivered
Yep.
if she were to pass.
Well, how we
And
know
so
that?
they were. She had a
They
written
don't
will
say
or whatever
that part
those
of
are
the
called,
story.
advance directive.
Well, anybody can write those.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys keep going off topic. You can't stay on track with what
Everybody-
you're saying. You just keep.
You know what? These two. No wonder. Because if that ginormous lady was her mom, it makes sense. It makes sense. But this is a world where social media can totally affect your life. And Francisco is going to say something that makes a lot of sense.
Cussing. So we're gonna move on because we want to get some food, and this is not.
I mean, y'all
productive,
stop that
so.
shit.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say to the camera?
Fuck you.
My audience is full of Trump supporters. You
They
got
are?
anything to say to them?
Oh, they be supporting y'all in this
99%
bullshit?
Trump supporters.
99% Trump supporters?
Yeah.
90, are you a Trump supporter?
No, but I know who she is.
You know who this is?
She's very famous.
I don't give a fuck.
Well, I'm just giving you a fact, not a.
Shut the, why the fuck he keep talking? I feel like we made this clear. I don't want you to talk.
You
Why
were
would you
talking
talk
to
to?
him,
Why
though.
would you talk to another minority like that?
I'm not. Kill.
You guys know about how she like shit her pants at a party?
Oh yeah, I shit myself
She shit
everywhere.
herself
No,
at
I
the
got that. I
party
can tell them. I can tell them.
Don't
I can
be all
tell
up
them.
in his
Yeah.
face 'cause it was a
Yeah. Everywhere,
I'm
all
saying.
over, everywhere. And if
Because anybody that says they've never shit themselves is fucking lying. Especially when they fucking get blackout drunk. Or have dysentery. Whatever.
you want to see more and hear more about that story, you can go to Liberty Hangout on YouTube and you can subscribe to me there, or you can go to patreon.com/Caitlin Bennett to support my work. I can give you all the details. There's a lot of people who like the details of that. So,
Like, your shit is crazy. But I know you said 1 million views. Might as well.
Thanks. Hey, wait, actually, I need that. You got the video on you?
okay.
Since we are here.
You're going to regret this when you see it. She's going to be very embarrassed when she grows up, gets some man.
Love y'all. Especially her. Fuck her. Especially her. I don't like her. I don't like her. I don't even know why she stopped me out my motherfucking day to tell me some bullshit that I don't like. And then this. Yeah. No.
You are the smartest person we've talked
against this Mexican. That's insane.
to today, right?
This behavior is just truly shocking, and
I'm not that shocked.
Yeah, so I am actually probably is the smartest. What you graduated with?
A biology degree.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm in school right now, law.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, dear Lord.
Oh, God. Oh, God. She's going to be like one of those Jasmine Crockett type lawyers.
What the hell?
I hope your future employers do not get wind of this video because you won't get a job.
There you go.
No, the amount of curse words you've said, you can't debate. And lawyers are meant to debate. You have not been able to present one good argument, and you can't do it without cursing. So no law firm is going to see this and be like, wow, we're going to hire her. It's not going to happen. So good luck in your law career.
I might not even have one with Trump. He already canceling, financial aid and all that other good stuff. So
Never
I might not even have one.
aid.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I bet you don't.
Yeah, I'm not.
How did he cancel financial aid? That's weird. That never happened.
Idea.
That's what we're talking about when it comes down to Trump. We just don't vote for him.
This financial aid's been canceled by Trump? That's a new one. All right.
Just
Okay.
for schools who don't comply with getting illegal immigrants off of their stuff.
Embarrassing. Why are you out here doing this?
Okay, I'm done. I'm done answering her dumb questions.
We're content creators.
I've answered them like a million times.
I've been said that. I thought I've been said fuck him.
Where are you going to law school?
I've been said fuck him.
Where do you
I
go?
thought I've been said that.
No, where do you go to law school? Where do you go? Like, what's the school?
I don't know. You tell me.
We can find out. It's okay.
You gonna find out?
Yeah.
I just want to know who's teaching you how to debate this way. It's truly, it's a new way of debating I've never seen before.
Yeah.
That's all. It's interesting. I'm intrigued.
What if it's an HBCU?
Actually, I have a petition if you wanted to sign it. We think that Trump supporters should have to go to Alligator Alcatraz.
Y'all have lost your fucking mind.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
Alligator
Yeah,
what?
do you think Trump supporters should have to go to the
You mean Auschwitz?
Alligator Auschwitz?
Alligator Auschwitz to me.
You did not just say that.
How do you feel about that?
Come on. Nobody's died in either one of them. Oh, at least not 6 million of them.
How do you feel about Alligator Alcatraz?
Well, here we are trying to get people to agree with us that Trump supporters should have to spend a minimum of 1 week there to see the types of...
I could do it. I could do it. Why? How do I know? I've done it multiple times. Multiple. I could do it.
conditions they support for undocumented immigrants.
I might just sign it. Y'all just might need to go there.
Right.
But go ahead and read it.
We demand that all Trump supporters spend a minimum of 1 week at Alligator Alcatraz to personally experience the policies they support. We believe in equal treatment under the law.
Trump
you hear
supporters.
him still talk about me?
Yeah, we'll sign this shit.
What is his? What is he? What is his race? His ethnicity.
He's Mexican. Yeah, he immigrated here legally.
Oh, but his family probably didn't.
He was adopted.
He
told you that.
Adopted. He legally immigrated. Are you stupid? He even said it earlier. Well, you're too busy looking stupid. Great lawyer, guys. Great lawyer. I don't think she's a lawyer. Obviously, she's not in school to be a lawyer.
Oh, poor soul.
Why would that be so? Poor soul, what would have been a better situation for him to be in rather than being adopted?
Yeah.
He has a family. He was adopted into a family who wanted him. instead of being snuffed out. Yeah. Isn't that a good thing that he exists?
No, I don't like him, so he could die. I don't want to get canceled.
You canceled, girl.
So what are you? Okay, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
What? So you're signing? You think Trump supporters should have to? And you said alligator Auschwitz.
Yeah, because it's inhumane.
Okay. You think what they're doing at that detention center with air conditioning? What is it?
Do you take tips?
It's not even.
Yeah, my audience, you can actually leave a super chat or go to my
You should try
Patreon,
some different
patreon.com/Caitlin Bennett, and you could do that. So wait, you said alligator Auschwitz. Do you really think a detention center in Florida with air conditioning, with food, with health care, and bunk beds,
and food, and a fucking mattress to sleep on, and they get to keep their shoes?
is the same thing as Auschwitz?
I highly doubt healthcare.
They have a medical team right there in the detention center with them.
That's a medical team.
Okay. If they're sick, they get health care. They get attention.
A medical team is not health care. What does a medical team do exactly, Mr. Faggot? And I believe that's an Argentina jersey. I could be wrong. What exactly does a medical team provide? A Band-Aid? Ooh, even if they did just provide a Band-Aid, guess what? That is indeed healthcare. Fucking idiots.
Attention from a medical team. You really think that's the same thing as what Hitler was doing to people?
Why did I run into a Trump supporter and they on the damn live?
I just don't think. Yeah, because they got people all in these cages and stuff.
Okay. What happened at Auschwitz?
They gathered a bunch of people up and killed them.
Okay. And what's going on at this detention center?
They're gathering a bunch of people up and we're doing what we don't even know. What we don't even know.
Do you think they're killing them there?
Putting them on airplanes.
Hell, I've heard.
You think they're making them work? Slave labor, starving them? You think that's what's happening?
Didn't they say on the news that they were gonna put them in charge of farms and stuff like that? Have farm owners make them work or something like that?
What? It's the exact opposite. It's the Democrats saying that. They say it all the time. Who's going to pick your crops? Who's going to put your vegetables on the table? Who's going to fold your laundry and make your beds up in hotels? Even Hunter Biden said it recently.
I don't think that's completely right. It shouldn't be up to...
Well, that's not true. That's not right, and that's not true.
Well,
we both know
we're hearing a
what's
lot of
happening in detention centers is not the same thing as Auschwitz, and that's...
Center. It's alligator Alcatraz, and it ain't right.
Okay. So what's better, Auschwitz or this this alligator Alcatraz? Neither. They're on the same page.
No, they're not. They're against human rights.
Okay, but you think Trump supporters should have to go there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fully.
It's
against human rights, but they're providing shelter from the elements, food, and a place to lay your head. That's not concrete.
Human rights, but you would support sending Trump supporters there?
You guys are against human rights.
You guys are against human rights, yeah.
So you want to be against human rights for Trump supporters then?
Actually, yeah.
Okay.
And actually, as a matter of fact, why didn't you vote for Kamala? Why didn't you vote for her?
She loves abortion. I'm anti-abortion.
Yeah.
She doesn't believe in the nuclear family.
Hillary drugged. Biden drugged. Kamala drunk. Look at that. It's crazy who they've been putting up against for the Democrat nominations.
I do. I don't support this idea that men can be women and women can be men. She supports all of that.
Okay, this is the first time we have ever agreed. I'm not really big on that. Well, I'm not big on that. I feel like, once again, people should have their own choices. But
we only came out here for pictures.
We did. We really only came out here for pictures. But since we're here, we might as well be.
Well, even better, you got on my YouTube channel. And you can subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Hit that notification bell. There's so much content from this time, and we were filming over there with Adam, so it's a good time.
All right, now we're done. Jesus Christ. Been trying to play that for a couple days, but I just kept getting bored and pushing it off like I almost did today. But I didn't. And now you're here. And now you observed it. And that's what I think. But I'm not telling you to think. Wait, I am telling you to think. I'm not telling you how to think. But, just saying. Take it into consideration. I am telling you to think, though. That's why you should take my stuff into consideration. Sometimes. But, you know, if you think Jews are like the greatest thing since sliced bread, that you're not entitled to that. Fuck out of here. Anyway, I think I already said it. Whew. Y'all have a good rest of your day. It is, damn, almost time for dinner. Like 45 minutes out.